Quality for Growth podcast with me, your host Clara. Today I'm excited to have a very exciting businessman, one who I think is going to inspire a lot of you to be able to either get started or grow the business that you already have. And I know you're excited to know the guest that we have today. He is one who has actually started a lot of businesses. He has grown a lot of them. And I think a number of them are businesses that you actually know of, may not be able to know the owner of those businesses. Allow me to introduce to you our guest for today, Mr. David Mwambazi.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome,
much.
sir.
Thank you so much, Clara, and it's good that you've had me on your program.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. You are the CEO and the managing director of ACU, or Saver Trade Finance. Would you tell us a little bit about your institution? Are you the one who managed it? You founded it? People would want to know.
Yes, so the correct name is actually AccuServe, Corporate
Okay.
Brokers. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so I founded AccuServe in 2014. And so basically it was just a platform to introduce Zambian businesses to, financial institutions and banks around the world, because our core business was to facilitate for trade finance.
For trade finance.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a financial background as Mr. David Mwambazi.
Not really. Not really.
Found AccuServe.
Not really.
Yeah.
So
what inspired you?
What inspired me basically was, just incidences, me, deciding to go into the business space, but obviously dreaming big.
Yeah.
And then obviously did not have the financial capacity.
Yeah.
So I needed the bank to back me up. Now, when I couldn't get help with the local conventional banks,
Yes.
obviously for, conventional reasons that I did not, have the requirements that they needed at the time. So I had to go and see if I could source help abroad.
Abroad.
Yeah, so that is what led me to discover how others are doing it out there. Then try to, bring the same product right here on the Zambian market.
The Zambian market.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of its kind.
Precisely.
Are you really a financial, do you give out financial insights? Do you give out, consultancies, or perhaps you also fund some programs? What do you really do as AccuServe?
So, okay, look, so for us, when we actually got started, the first questions people asked us is, look, are you a bank? How come you're giving all these financial bank instruments and, because we facilitate like letters of credit, bank guarantees. So our answer was no.
Yeah.
Then others, when we'd explain how it would work, like, if you move goods and then there's, we'll have a bank guarantee that they'll pay for those goods in case of goods.
Yes.
So people started asking, okay, so are you an insurance company?
Yes.
So our answer was no, we're not. We're just, we're just AccuServe. So the interesting story about our concept was this: we imaged with our own story.
Yeah.
And we said, look, this is what we're going to be. So the bottom line is, no, we are not a bank, we're not a financial institution. Yeah.
Yes.
But we're just a facilitating company. Okay. So by that I mean, obviously, we introduce you to banks that are regulated or properly licensed for them to conduct that business.
With
exactly.
us. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Great.
Now, that sounds great, because you see, when people say AccuServe, the first impression that I had actually, and hence the question, and I know it's been a question for a lot of people, is AccuServe a financing company? So people could actually come to you for consultancy, and you can be able to guide them in terms of, if they want funding, for example, for a mining company, and they can come through to your doors and find out which is the best bank that you would recommend for them to be able to engage for those funding. So do you also do those aspects where you actually recommend a bank, or do you have specific banks that you say, okay, these are partners with AccuServe?
So there's banks that we've also obviously come up with MOUs with, the banks that we work with. Yeah, and it's also interesting to note that now we've also, with our investor partners, we're somehow having a footprint in terms of some form of ownership into some financial institutions abroad that are able to offer services that, we actually initially were just facilitating for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Great. So it's not okay for us to mention and say, okay, we work with so-and-so banks, but you have MOUs running some banks that you will be able to recommend. That's fair enough. So a little bit about you, sir, Mr. David Mwambazi. Your journey, how did you become, it is something for us to know, especially, the upcoming businesses, how big businesses like yourselves actually came to be. Who inspired you? Who is Mr. David Mwambazi? How does he come about?
All right, David Mwambazi is just a simple, humble man that, like all of us, I started off on a very, very conventional path.
Yeah.
Growing up, my idea was wanting to be a pilot. I had all these fancy things that, every average child, would think of, what will I be when I,
Kevin, can you just have, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's just by a string of events that I found myself to be a businessman.
Just move it closer to him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's by a string of events that I turned out to be a businessman, Like I said, I came across a certain opportunity that required me to have a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
But then when I couldn't find the capital locally, I went searching abroad, and I realized that, look, if this gave me such a challenge here in my own country, obviously there's so many people in my shoes that are facing similar challenges.
Yeah, very true. Absolutely.
So I thought, look, being an entrepreneur is all about providing solutions.
Yes.
So I thought if we go out there, bring out the same model here, we will, turn out to be a great business.
And it did work.
And it has
worked
worked for us. Yes,
that is fantastic. Where did you do your primary education? Where did you do your,
I did my primary education at Chadley House School right here in Osaka.
Okay.
Yeah, then part of it was also done in Livingston at a school called Perrines Primary School. Then I went to St. Raphael's.
Yeah.
And then I went to Kabalonga Boys.
Oh, fantastic.
And then, I completed my school at, that is all levels.
Yeah.
At international.
I can see levels of exposure there. The Lord led you to be in different places.
So
and
I
think
completed
it was
my all levels at International Tutorial School, just slightly opposite Zesco.
Yes, that's fantastic.
And then obviously I didn't immediately jump into college.
Yeah.
Because I found myself in the business world.
Oh.
It's only now that I've actually gone back to school. And I only got my degree last year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, currently pursuing my master's.
I'm particularly excited about that statement you've made. When you finish your O-levels, you didn't particularly go to school to do your diplomas or your degrees. First of all, you ventured into business. What inspired you? How did that come about? Is it because I don't want to go to school, or maybe there are other things,
obviously
extraordinary
events. I think my parents had fallen into hard times.
Yeah.
They couldn't, have the luxury at the time to, send me immediately into school. But my dad came from a business background, so from his acumen, I could pick a lot of things, and I just decided to say, look, let me try and explore this field.
Yes.
And then,
that's amazing.
Just went into the business field.
So what I sense from there, and what this podcast is all about, is to uplift people that think, okay, this business is, Mr. Mwambazi has been in business for a long time, and perhaps, he found things already in place. It is exciting to note that you actually didn't go to school immediately, as in tertiary education. You decided to venture into business. So for somebody who is listening, this is very, very insightful information. Why? Because a lot of people don't have the opportunity to actually go to school. And they feel because they have not gone to school, then there's nothing that they can achieve. I've not even gone to school, and so I cannot achieve anything with regards contributing to.
But I must add something to that point. To be honest with you, I tell people to this day that, look, if you're privileged to go to school, study, but do yourself a favor, study beyond what you're taught. All right. Okay. And then from the outset,
that's a statement. Study beyond what you are taught.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for me, to be honest, another thing that kept me afloat and that gave me the courage and the confidence to go to any office and attend board meetings, or face people in boardrooms and still argue my case and present whatever it is I wanted to present, is because I may not have gone to acquire maybe what you call trained intelligence education at the time, but I had the charisma, I had the confidence because I was privately. To this day, I still am privately well read.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
I developed
really amazing.
I developed a habit to read
at
a very tender age. So yes, I may not have been going to school.
But but you were constantly studying. Exactly. Oh my God, I love that one. Right. Constantly reading. It is similar to me. Yeah. Everything that I tried to become was something that I was envisioning as early as grade 6 and 7.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very amazing what you just shared.
It always works.
Because you start reading the things that you are interested to read in, things that you want to grow in.
Exactly.
So when you add tertiary education to it, it's just to sum it all up. or maybe to channel you properly into what you want to become.
The higher truth also is that you find that, life itself is a biggest teacher.
Yeah.
I always told people at the time, I said, look, I may not have the conventional education that you talk about, but 5 University of Zambia, maybe 2 Harvards combined, cannot teach me what life itself has taught me.
Absolutely. That is correct.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's fantastic insight. And that's a rare piece of information there. You can combine universities together, but to get what you really are meant to get and something that you are meant to put out there, you need life to teach you.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. It's very insightful. And I think this one we need to tag it onto the conversation. Somebody needs to read it from Mr. David Mwambazi. Now, as we proceed, you've told us about your school background. How about your business? How did you come about with AccuSave and to where you are today?
Okay, like earlier explained, so we started off with AccuSave, but very soon we learned that, look, there's need to diversify.
Yeah.
You get it. As resources.
Let's be having our own.
Oh, okay.
Before it gets cold. Yeah.
We learned that there's need to diversify.
Yeah.
So we thought to ourselves, resources are coming in.
Yeah.
How can we venture into other things? So we went into real estate. We went into real estate. We have a number of, we own Roseland City.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Government also gave us, through a tender, obviously.
Oh,
we had to beat all the big names in, thank you, all the big names in real estate to acquire the tender from government.
Yes.
They gave us to manage the residential side of the Lusaka economic zone.
The economic zone?
Yes.
So AccuSave is part of that?
Exactly. So AccuSave is managing the residential side of it. And we have a number of fully furnished apartments.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
Quite a number, actually. And what else do we have? I mean, then from there we said, let us also go into commodity trading, because if we can't just sit there and wait for people to come and get a letter of credit from us. We could as well identify opportunities on the market, what is needed.
Is in line with what you're doing. Fantastic.
So we entered into commodity trading, but now we've also gone into, we've gone into payments, because now, we also don't want to drift so far away from what we really
your core business.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we now also have a company called PayScan Technology Zambia. So these are digital payments that we run, with a license from Bank of Zambia.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And then, we also have International Credit Rating Agency.
I saw that one. I must congratulate you, Mr. Mwambazi. That's amazing.
Much. Thank you so much.
That's really amazing. You went and launched it in the ACU.
Yes.
What was the inspiration to have it launched from there and then,
Look, basically, it's something that's already been established. But obviously, we are trying to work with a credit rating agency that has the appetite to operate in this part of the world.
This part of the world.
Yeah, so we entered talks with their senior management and said, look, let us also run the outfit here for you here in Zambia.
Here in Zambia.
Yeah, looking at the fact that this was greatly missing on the Zambian market.
Absolutely, and one of its kind, I think.
One of its kind.
Credit rating, the only one that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
And I think all of us should be able to see, get more information about how it functions. Would you want to use this podcast to just share a lot about, the one you're talking about, the ICRA?
Okay, look, there's been a lot of talk about, let us have investors come into Zambia. And the truth of the matter is that, yes, to develop any economy, it be China, America, they've depended on investors, foreign investors to invest in those lines. And that's exactly what Zambia needs.
Yes.
Right? But if you are an investor and then you're told, look, invest in a company in Zambia, it's not very wise of you to just get, what this company is saying, because everybody wants money. They'll tell you, give us the money.
Yes, you want to do your own due diligence.
You want to do your own due diligence. And the best way to go about it is you get an independent credit rating agency to give you a status of that company.
Absolutely.
So that way you make an informed decisions. They'll tell you where the weaknesses of the company is, where the strengths of the company is. So by the time you're getting money and say, okay, look, let me invest in this outfit.
You are already aware.
You're already aware. And then you fully know, okay, look, the weaknesses are in its governance structure. So let us work on the governance, if I'm putting in my money, you tell the people, look, your governance is weak,
Yes.
so let us work in this area. So you're protecting also ultimately the investor, and also protecting
the business.
Exactly.
Yes, and because you see, like you said, everybody wants money.
Exactly.
And these are some of the sort of the problems that we have actually faced even in the mining sector,
Yeah.
where we have a lot of incidences where people have brought in money with a view that they're going to get a certain product and then ended up, losing all sorts of money. And all that is because they did not get the right information from the right people, such as yourselves.
Exactly.
And, it's a very, very good venture.
So we're also very excited that already we're in talks with a number of banks also. Most banks want to be rated, corporate companies want to be rated.
Wow.
So it's something that is also giving us a lot of excitement.
A lot of excitement. It's a new project, but it's already doing well on the market.
Extremely
I think from the reception, you can see that there's a lot of interest, even on the local market, to be able to use your product.
Yeah.
And like you said, we are all about solution finding. Yeah. And who knows how many more investments that,
That's what business is all about, bringing solutions on the table.
Absolutely. Bringing solutions on the table, not really dreaming about the business, but providing any solution.
Exactly.
No, that is fantastic to know. So far you have some banks that you signed up with the ICRA?
Yes, quite a number of banks.
Oh,
and just this afternoon. Thank you so much.
How long has that been, Mr. Mwambazi, just as a follow-up to that?
Look, the truth of the matter is we knew that this would do well, but we never anticipated that it would do so well so fast, because now banks are literally writing to us and say, look, would like you to rate us. Because the truth of the matter is if you look at the banking sector, there's what they call corresponding banks. And so to open a corresponding bank for some of our local banks, have been having a bit of challenges here and there because they're not rated. Yes. So if another bank is going to onboard them, they really want to understand their full status. Yes. So, so banks are taking advantage of that, and there's a lot of people that, there are a lot of private companies that also invest in these banks. They would like to know, is our money really safe?
Safe, yes. Exactly. And that's a question. Yeah. And you see, your business, and especially the ICRA, I'm particularly interested in it because of the background of the company that I represent, J8 Inspections. And we deal so much with upcoming, mining companies. And we have investors that actually do come on board and want to, consult with us to know who can really invest in. Exactly. And so in collaboration with your company, this could actually be a very, very good, platform for people. We could have
a private talk.
Absolutely.
and see how we can
see how that one goes.
Exactly.
And so I did mention that to just showcase, how also the corporate board can quickly jump on board, with you, with the ICR, to be able to get more insights and see how they can better place themselves in terms of being rated. And be able to broaden, the spectrum in terms of who can invest with them. And that being the case, Mr. Mwambazi, we have seen that AccuSave is also doing okay on the market. Yeah. How long has it been in business?
We've been in the business now from 2014, so we're looking at plus or minus 10 years.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a long time to exist, I guess.
Fantastic, because you see, for a private business, 10 years is not a joke.
I mean, surviving COVID, surviving all these things that have come our way. So, we can say that we're firmly grounded.
Yeah. And
it's a COVID period, and obviously the harsh economic turbulences that our country has gone through. Yes. We've seen a lot of businesses seize.
Yes.
So for us, the fact that we're still existing and still pushing, that's not to say we don't have challenges, We do have our own challenges that we need to overcome.
And that's important for people to know.
Exactly. But the fact that we're still existing, our doors are still open, makes us very proud.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we must congratulate for the 10 years as well.
You.
We keep congratulating you because we see, even as we are promoting, private sector engagements and, private sector growth in terms of businesses, we also need to note the fact that, as Mr. Mwambazi is saying, the challenges are inevitable to run a business, especially for this long.
Exactly.
We must be able to say that you have learned again quite a lot in your experiences in the last 10 years. Do you want to share some of the ups and downs as you were moving from one level to the other in AccuSave, leading to ICRA?
Look, the truth of the matter is that, sometimes we've learned that sometimes if you try to grow too fast, you misplace your priorities, and that can hit you very hard. It's been a very, it's been a learning curve, even just from building the right team.
Yes.
We've learned how to, make sure that, but just by simple interactions, you're getting the right people on board. So we've had a lot of lessons.
A lot of
really,
lessons from it.
Yeah.
And you see, this is where a lot of people actually in business get it tough.
Yeah.
You may have a great vision, but if you don't have the right team, you don't have the right team to be able to help you push, the project in the right direction. A lot of businesses have failed.
Very true.
So we should be able to note that your team from the onset, and I know with the lessons that you have learned, the hiring and firing of the SMEs and stuff. So you've also gone through that as AccuSafe,
I tell
challenges in finding the right team.
I tell people that, look, it's just the way of this world that I'm always the one being called by people like you. But the truth of the matter is I've got a beautiful team behind me that's been very supportive.
Absolutely.
And I mean, they do the work and most of the glory comes to me. It's just the way of this world. But the team has been very instrumental. We've been lucky enough to, learn very early in life or in our business life how to put a good team together. A team that I am very confident that even if today we didn't have the right money to pay them, they'll still stick around, make sure that we steer the boat in the right direction.
And
there's that sense of loyalty.
Yes.
There's that sense of loyalty.
I feel that one. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
Because these are people that, you have a family event, they've got, personal issues. You just come together and it's not about work. You just feel compelled to be there for each other because you've built something beyond, just capital mobilization.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
And if all colleagues, in terms of those that are working for upcoming and growing businesses, can have that at the back of their mind. And this is where we also get to see people failing to leave a company, even though the salaries come a little bit late.
Exactly.
And because they believe in the vision.
They believe in the vision and they believe in more, like it's the rise above just resource mobilization. It becomes family. We rise and fall as one.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So we rise and fall as one. And that is a mindset that, every colleague, should be able to have, both the employers and the ones that actually support team, part of the process. So that being the case, Mr. Mwambazi, especially when you're starting AccuSafe, finances, especially for SMEs, has been a big challenge.
Yeah.
How did you navigate that one? Or how do you rather advise somebody to navigate, especially they're starting up, perhaps in their third year, and they still are struggling to get access to finance?
Look, like I said, the first definition I came across of an entrepreneur is about providing solutions. So, number one, our core business, AccuSafe itself, was all about facilitating for trade finance. All right, there again, it's a solution. But we've realized that the type of clientele we catered for, which is just corporate, doesn't really tap so much into the pool down there. So again, in an effort to really also provide solutions further, not only for our own benefit, but for the benefit
but also
of
for the benefit
community.
of others.
We've now also started a company called UBC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, regulated by the Ministry of Finance.
Great.
Yeah, we're starting to give funds directly.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're now turned into a financial institution.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is to support AccuSafe.
That is just to support AccuSafe. There's certain clients that come to us and they're not in need of a letter of credit or a bank guarantee. They need direct funding. So we're coming up with a way in which we can finance them directly, because you need a license for it. So now we've got a license.
License to be able to finance.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
all right.
we're launching that very soon.
Absolutely. That is something we should be able to look out to. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs should be able to look out to that. So you put a criteria down, how you want to select the people that would actually benefit from the upcoming venture that you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm sure eventually we should be able to meet again and be able to discuss, the parameters on how, because I know this news is really exciting and people will be wanting to know how can we access these funds. I think at the right time, Mr. David Mwambazi will be able to give us the information with regards to how now those that can directly be funded, what they are looking for and the due diligences. The good part is that you're already with ICRA, so you're able to do your due diligence and stuff, with regards to who can actually benefit to those funds. So we do agree, all of us, that it's still a challenge right now, to be able to find funding. And one thing I love about you, Mr. Mwambazi, with your team, is that you're always about finding solutions.
Thank you.
And already, because that is a huge challenge that you're actually trying to find a solution for. And how we pray that a lot of other businesses can be able to come up with such solutions and be able to provide that for, not only for Zambia, but for Africa. And who knows, the globe may also benefit from your insights. And that being the case, the introduction of ICR to Zambia. We spoke about that also, but I would want us to emphasize, how was it like for people to receive the ICR, and all that it comes with on the Zambian market? Because those are not, it's not something that people want to be rated.
The truth of the matter is, I'm not one who's always feared competition. I've always thought about competition to be something that, can make me improve on what I'm offering.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is, I've also tried to tailor my businesses in a way where I don't venture into everything that everybody is doing. I've always tried to find unique ways of doing it. Even when we talk about funding, you see the way we structure it. It's not like the way the conventional guys are doing it.
Wow.
Make it flexible, but at the same time, assist the people that,
absolutely,
that really need the help.
Yes.
At the same time, find ways in which you can mitigate risks.
Yes.
Not this thing of bring this, bring that,
yes.
bring that, at the end of it all. It's just not really working.
It's not working.
It's not working.
And talking about that, this is why I said a lot of people are going to be excited about that information, because currently, this is what we have seen to be the problem. People have got great ideas, but sometimes the procedures are so intimidating. And at the end of the day, you find somebody who provide everything that they want, and you be rejected, and that dream goes to waste.
I'll tell you something also with, we're also just in discussion with our regulator regarding this, where we're calling it an added service, because we have so many financiers and funders that have signed MOUs with us, and we're talking one with a book of $1 billion.
Wow, congratulations.
They're trying to finance, they're trying to finance projects, in countries like Zambia, and they're saying, look, give us, reports for certain companies, and then if we see that they're healthy, their management structures healthy, we could consider that.
Absolutely.
So these things make me very excited, because it just reminds me of the mission that I embarked on more than 10 years ago. To say, look, let me find a way to bring capital onto the Zambian market.
Absolutely.
And then, seeing international, companies
come on board.
And
that's
say,
amazing.
So we have a number of MOUs, and and these are people with serious money, and they're saying, look, we want to
venture into and want to see what we can
do. Show us ratings, and then we'll see if we can put in our money.
Absolutely.
So if the company probably is A-rated, we can put in maybe, for example, $3 million.
$3 million.
If it's not properly rated, we'll mitigate risk by maybe putting in.
So we can build trust and see how best we can be able to
put in less if it's probably B-rated and things like that. So
Fantastic.
Very excited.
It's really exciting, and I think this is news that not only the country is looking for to grow, but also the businesses for them to be able to grow. Now, that being the case, I think it brings me to a follow-up question, Mr. Mwambazi. How would you want to prepare somebody's mind who is in business and that all they're thinking about is if I can be funded? Do we have the right mindset to be able to receive this funding and be able to work accordingly and be able not to disappoint the people that actually have recommended us for these funds?
The truth of the matter is, as much as we've been trying to push for this capitalization, sourcing for capital and I feel the mindset has got to be the number one thing that anybody has to work on.
Absolutely.
You need to put your mind together and understand, number one, that it's possible. And then you see, you can start out as a business just like I started out. Without having capital. But then I had just the ability to string things together. And then from there, we've grown it into a business. So truth of the matter is, I hear a lot of people talking and whining about lack of capital. But I'm telling you now, I've just shared with you that I've got people that are sitting on a lot of money and saying we want to put money in businesses in Zambia.
Wow.
So the truth is, it takes an idea.
Yes.
It takes an idea. Like already I know that we've connected 2 guys that are talking about solar projects.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have the money. They've just run up here and there, put a few documents, signed MOUs with, I think, the power utility company.
Yes.
And then, from there, there's a possibility
that they can be funded.
So it takes an idea. That's the first capital that people should look for.
And that leads me to what you actually said. Be a solution finder.
Exactly.
So be a solution finder. It means that even from wherever you are sitting, you must be able to prepare your mind in such a way that you are fundable. You know, so there are certain, yes, that you are fundable, because you know, some people, Mr. Mwambazi, you would find them and you'd be crying in your car to say, what did I do?
Exactly.
Did I do the right thing? Oh my God, this person now, they've gone using the money to drink, they've gone using the money for other things, and the project that they told us they're going to do is dying. And I think this is a problem that we actually are facing, and mindset transformation.
Very true.
Are you being so deliberate about that, you know, how to prepare your would-be clients on how they can be ready and be able to be fundable?
You see, again, also the challenge that I face with the Zambian community, and I say that because by default, I'm also part of this community. So
absolutely.
with us Zambians, our mindset is still very small. And I'm not asking that we take a huge leap and start thinking multi-million-dollar projects. But to this day, I still have Zambians coming to see me, and I'm excited because on the phone you have a very good conversation. But when they come, they sit down with you, they're talking about projects that, look, we all start from somewhere, but you know, like, we can't always be talking about chicken, rearing chickens.
Yes, when are we going to move from that?
Exactly. And here I am, I'm presenting you ideas about funders that want to fund big projects. And then the most you can do about it is think about how you can rear chickens in the backyard. It's good, but we have to graduate from that kind of thinking.
Absolutely. I love that one, Mr. Mwambazi. That one is fantastic. That one is fantastic, because you see, this is why the conversation about mindset change is something that we should, all of us, invest in.
Exactly.
I don't know what we're going to do to be able to bring the right mindset to Zambian people, because we need to be able to grow from a certain level of thinking.
But I think also it's just exposure. This is why in my earlier remarks I spoke to you about, look, go to university, go to college, but read beyond what you're told. Like for me, to be honest, and I come to programs like this and I go out there in the streets, I'm at the mall, people recognize me, and they say I'm very successful, and I'm very grateful for that, because that keeps me going, keeps me motivated.
It gives you, you know, the
But
right
when I
motivation.
leave this country and I go meet colleagues and, you know, I'll give you just one little example. So not long ago, we have an office in Dubai. So,
fantastic. So I didn't know that.
I'd gone to work from I'd gone to work from our Dubai office. So I decided to just take a break with colleagues and just go have a drink. So Wallace won the table, so they bring a menu for the drinks, right? And then in my hotel room, I had a whiskey, 21-year whiskey.
Yes, you know, they love to recognize the years in Dubai. That is something,
So I got it at the airport. I think plus or minus, it must have cost me $900, $1,000, right? So then this guy brings a menu for drinks, and it's what I recognize as similar to what I already have in my hotel room. It's 25 years. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it'll be $1,500 plus $2,000. But luckily, my assistant was there. My assistant from the Dubai office was there. She checked. She said, "Are you sure you want to go for this one?"
This one.
And I'm like,
he said,
But I looked at the price. It was like 43,000 dirhams, which was coming to about 13,000
About 13,000 euros,
Now, you see, at that point, even I had to sit back. You get it? So now I'm in a territory where I realize that, look, we still have to work hard. And then right next, there was a gentleman across the table. He ordered the same drink. And he paid with it with ease. You get it? So I feel the more we get exposed, we realize that, look, you could be a big fish in Zambia, out there. And so you still have to work hard.
You still have to work hard. Wow. And you had to make a decision around that.
I didn't get it, but my wife won't let me get a whiskey for $13,000.
I love that.
You get it. So I had to abandon it. But the truth is, you know, it also just made me realize that, look, there's need to work hard. You get it. So if you mingle so much with people that will always tell you, look, you've done well, you start thinking you're there, but when you go out there, you realize. Very
important. I hope my audience did get that one. This is a mindset we want to inculcate in our people. And for those that are in business like yourselves, ourselves, and many others that are going to be viewing, you know, this program, the idea is that we can get incited to be able to grow further from where we are.
So you see, look, also just taking advantage of, say, even, you know, things like Facebook. You don't have, look, the truth is, they say that you become the average of 5 people that you hang around.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So
and that one is true.
Exactly. So if you're going to hang around people that believe 10,000 kwacha is a lot of money for too long, you start believing that.
Yes.
So the truth is now we've got things like Facebook. We have no excuse because you can reach out and deliberately be intentional about people you friend out there.
Yes.
And then, you know, like you start interacting with them, your mindset starts to change.
Yes.
You get it. While less others are hustling about, you know, I know it's a sad thing, but, you know, people are going to be complaining about how, you know, fuel, whatever is expensive.
And you know,
there's people out there that don't have such conversations.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
there's a way they can impact your life.
Yes.
You get it. So it's a challenge that I think us Zambians, you know, we come obviously from an era of our founding president with his policies where, you know, free education, free
and free things.
Yeah, you know, for us to move from that mentality to a point where we believe we can work for our own things and also have abundance and whatever, it's going to take time and it's a gradual process, but it has to move fast.
It has to move fast.
This country has to change.
I love what you said. It has to move fast.
Yeah.
How many of us think that it actually has to move fast?
Exactly.
You know? How many of us actually think that, you know, it has to move really fast?
Yeah.
The thing is, we think, like you said, our level of exposure tells us that having 10,000, 20,000 kwacha and somebody spends 10,000, 20,000 is a huge expense. So they are doing okay and they want to settle there. And of course, we do have these, you know, media platforms that are actually connecting us. Now the world is a global village.
Exactly.
And there you are, you have offices in Dubai.
Yeah.
That is fantastic because, you know, it just shows you to say, and the question that I wanted to ask you as a follow-up to that, what inspired you to actually put an additional office in Dubai?
So the truth is, with investor partners now, I've got an office in Dubai, India, Spain, the UK, Tanzania, Uganda.
Good.
Yeah. So look, like you observed,
good, yes.
it's a global village. So you can't just restrict yourself here and say, I'm Zambian and let me, you know, you've got to think globally.
Yes. Absolutely.
I've got 2 boys and somebody asked me, why do you insist on giving? So my kids have got African names, like Alenaswa and Liapa, which is also my name as well. But
those are beautiful names.
Yes, I call them Ethan and Jaden because I want to raise internationalists without them ceasing to be patriots.
Yes,
you get it?
Absolutely.
So that if I want to do that, I recognize that, you know, I have to lead by example.
Yes.
So I'm trying to be also an internationalist.
Yes.
You know, you go out there, you know, it starts with simple things. Yes, you know, it may sound silly now, but it starts with simple things. I mean, you can't come up with names that nobody out there will pronounce.
Yes.
You get it?
I love that.
At least to balance the cultural issues, give them an African name and also give them a name that can easily be recognized so that they don't struggle to just place themselves on the international stage.
Absolutely.
Look, it may not be a path that everybody would agree with, but that's a path that I've decided to embark on.
And I think
I
it's
told
a
myself I'll be a Zambian, a patriotic Zambian, but I'm going to be an international citizen.
And you have tried that.
I belong to a global village.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you know what is even fascinating is that you are actually walking the talk.
I have
friends
and business colleagues that I regard as family. I think on each and every continent.
Yeah.
You can throw me in Asia, America, where I will not struggle.
I love that. Sure. I love that, and that's the sort of approach that I've picked as well. Having been trained not only in Zambia, I've been trained in Europe, and I've been trained maybe in Germany, in France, and in terms of my work, I've also been, and which I think is my prayer that a lot of people can actually get a lot of exposure to be able to meet and be able to, you know, grow themselves internationally. And that is also to try and help you change your mindset towards, you know, what you want to become.
Exactly.
Because there's a tendency that once we are back home, Mr. Mwambazi, it's as if we change from the airport, we just switch back.
I know.
We are just automatically Zambian, and then you cease to think big, and you begin to mingle with the people that think, you know, owning this amount of money, that's it, you don't need anything. Have you ever been told something like that? Like, why are you still pushing? You are successful.
A lot of times, actually.
Isn't
a lot of times. But again, like I said, it's because of my exposure. I feel, and the truth is this, to be honest, success is very relative. You can look at me and say, David is very successful, but only David Mwambazi can tell whether he's successful or not, because only David knows what he's really put himself to achieve, right? If I want to drive a Rolls Royce and you see me driving maybe a Range Rover, for me, you in your head, you'll be, he's successful.
It'll be success. But in your mind, you're thinking, this is not what I want.
Exactly.
I'm actually aiming at something higher.
So it's very relative.
It's very relative.
Yeah.
And that being said, dear entrepreneurs, here you have it, from Mr. David Mwambazi. We're still having the conversation, going on, because we want at the end of this that we get the right inspiration. I'm personally being inspired. And, I hope and pray that all of you are actually being inspired with this conversation. We cannot continue to think small. We have been told that, channels are there and ventures are there actually to help the enterprising, companies in this country to be able to move from one level to the other. But our main focus and conversation is on mindset transformation. Even as we get inspired, do you also see a situation where we are inspired out of it's like you watch something inspirational. 5 minutes later, it's off your head. You are back to drinking. You are back to humanizing. You have forgotten your goal. But you just told somebody that you inspire me. Have you seen people that are looking at you as an inspiration, but they're not willing and ready to walk, the road that you have actually walked for you to get there?
The truth is, it's got to be a constant fight. I mean, you've got to identify that which drives you, because the truth is, yes, so many times we've all read motivational books, heard the motivational speakers.
Yeah.
You get fired up.
Yes.
2 days.
You get high. Yes.
2 days after that, you're sober. Yeah. So, but
I love the way you said you are sober.
Yeah.
After that. Yeah.
So, but what will keep you going and what will keep you motivated is something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
You see, also, it leads me to another point that I feel even in business, like if you just go in to just make the money, you burn out.
Yes.
You burn out. Because frustrations,
you get tired.
Yes,
Whatever.
You've got to be passionate about whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
Because it's only the passion that will make you wake up in the morning. It's the passion for what you do. Like for me, I honestly, genuinely love to see people move forward.
Wow. I love that.
I would, and so many times, I've had situations where we've structured deals, and then because the bank has maybe made certain demands of certain payments to be made for their service, I'll tell the bank, look, forget our commission as Zambia offers.
Really?
We just want to see this transaction go through. You get it? We've done that several times because I'm really passionate. I honestly, genuinely believe that even if I was told that somebody at my office has got this idea, it's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
It just needs your input. I would drive there without even me being bothered about what's our cut.
Yes.
What are we getting out of it?
Yes. Because your thought, first of all, is to see that this vision that this person has actually grows.
Exactly.
That is fantastic.
But I've also learned that there's a way that life works itself out where it rewards you if you've got that mentality.
True.
I've seen so many transactions go through and where a client is supposed to pay us a certain amount, but because of the way we handle the transaction, like I'd have my team work very late, I'd devote extra time myself instead of tucking in the boys, to bed. I'll be up in my office at home working.
Yes.
And the client just comes with, extra money. So thank you so much. I appreciate the devotion. But I was there just trying to do what I can to assist. You get it?
I relate.
It comes with extra rewards.
I can relate with that. And I think that is a sort of mentality
passion just rewards.
Yes. Yeah. So passion, the right word is passion rewards you.
It rewards you.
It has to be from your heart to be able to achieve that which you want to achieve.
Without passion, you burn out.
You burn out. Yeah. You really burn out. I relate with that because our partner in the organization I mentioned, Jet Inspections, actually has your approach. Okay. In terms of usually, even no matter how big the deal is, he doesn't want to charge.
Yeah.
You will tell them, give us your offer.
Exactly.
And you should see how he works. He's going to work everything out to ensure that he offers the best service to the client. We have seen, situations where a client brings double the amount, like you say. So I relate to that. And I think it's one of the mindset that we should be able to inculcate, in a lot of people who think they're passionate about, you shouldn't be money-oriented in the first place. But in the first place, are you passionate about that which you want to bring out to the people?
Yeah.
That's amazing, Mr. Mwambazi.
Another thing I just think about, the other day I had friends come see me at my house. So we sat by the bar, we're having a few drinks and just catching up as guys.
Yes.
So there's one thing that I said to the guys that obviously I said it with all humility.
Yes.
I said, for me to suffer to take a lot, I don't think I'll ever suffer in my life. Then they asked why. It's, don't say that, man. No. You're becoming too proud.
Proud,
said,
yeah,
no,
why are you saying that?
I said, look, I've got friends like you. You
Yes.
have trucks. I know what you do. I also know what you do.
Yes.
You see, the truth is, look, I've got friends who have trucks. Everything I have today could collapse.
Yes.
All right? All I have to do, and this goes to any business person, any business person. So as long as I know what you do, everybody's looking for clients.
Yeah.
All I have to do is just get you a client.
That's it.
You get it?
Yes.
So this thing of unemployment, struggling, I understand it's there, but people just seriously need the mind shift.
Yes.
You know somebody. Like for me, I sell land, I do what? I sell guarantees, LCs.
Yes.
If you know me or you know my company, we will definitely entertain you if you say, look, I've got somebody who wants a letter of credit.
Yes,
Will I get a
genuine,
commission?
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have that mindset of, like your mind is just built, to not this entitlement spirit, this dependency spirit. You're a person that just really wants to make it on your own.
Yes.
Trust me, it's very, very difficult to suffer. Because
Absolutely.
even just here where
I agree with you.
Even here where
totally
we're at the Urban
yes.
Hotel, if I walked in and I said, look, if I brought you 4 clients, will I get a commission?
Yes.
I doubt they'll refuse.
Absolutely, you're right.
You get
That's
it? So
true.
It's about, understanding that, look, at least I may not know who can, clients for the hotel, but I know somebody who can want something somewhere.
That you're able to
all
offer.
these Facebooks, we've got all these things. There's just a way we can generate income for ourselves.
I love that. And this is something that I wish that all of us can be able to pick up.
Yeah.
Because we always, have a tendency of saying your network is your net worth, but we don't know the psychology behind that.
Yeah.
The psychology behind that is what solution are you bringing to your network?
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you are right to say, I don't think I will be able to suffer in the longest time. And other people look at it like, oh, why is he saying that?
Yeah.
But somebody who thinks, would you rather I suffer when I've got a team like you, guys that are working hard? So if I am down, you will be able to pick.
But I know how you want customers.
Yes.
I know what you do. So if chips are down,
I'll find a solution.
I'll look for clients and give you, but I'll demand a commission.
Yes.
Easy.
Will you let me down?
Exactly.
I'll be finding a solution for it. That's the sort of mindset.
Yeah.
So this is how a network works.
Exactly.
It's not just your network being your net worth just by virtue of being surrounded by those people and asking for arms. We are saying, can you provide a solution?
So probably now I should also take this opportunity to now explain to so many people that come to my inboxes. I read all their dream stories. I read their touching stories. But to be honest, I do not also subscribe to a spirit of spoon feeding.
Absolutely.
I believe if you're going to have a conversation with me to say, look, surely you know somebody. Look, some of my businesses sell plots, right? Everybody wants a plot. You can know somebody who can buy a plot and you get something. Let's be having those conversations.
Absolutely.
But today you come to me, you're asking for help. I help you. The next 2 months, you're not bringing solutions. You become like, a parasite.
Yeah, exactly. You're a burden now.
You become a burden. Naturally, I just start avoiding you because I have a lot of other issues to focus on.
Yes.
You get it?
Yeah, so, absolutely. And I think this is where this aspect of having your network being your net worth and all you are doing is asking for arms. I think this mindset should come to an end.
Yeah.
You must be able to see, what does Mr. David Mwambazi do?
Exactly.
How can I be of service to him? What solution can I provide for him while I'm sitting?
And to be honest with you, there's people that I look up to as well. The worst thing that I think from very early on in life, I've never gone to, I interact with very, very big people.
Yes.
The Casilis of this
world,
the Casilis of this world.
I know.
These are people I can talk to, but I won't go to him and say, please give me some money or whatever. No, look, he's accomplished, he's got the money.
Yes.
But that's what everybody goes to him for. So how will he place me in a special category?
Yes.
If I go to him and say, look, I can
else.
improve your business in this way, I give him solutions. That's what he's looking for. He's trying to expand. As big as he is, he's trying to expand his businesses, grow his businesses. So if I go with solutions, I've got a client for you, this area of your business, look, if you could do this, it's a different ballgame. He'll reward me and entertain me more than, me going there with begging hands and things like that.
My God.
So I find a lot of people coming to me trying to beg and what like, it doesn't work like that.
And you see, for those that have been in powerful networks and and find themselves falling off.
Yeah.
It's because of what Mr. David Mwambazi has just mentioned right now, where instead of providing a solution, you wanna ask for arms.
Exactly.
I think it's an embarrassment to some extent.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, if you are a solution provider to this network that you are connected to, when you are down, okay, this is for our viewers. When you are down, they know that you are down.
Yeah.
Because you have been providing solutions for them. Even when you're not able to provide that solution, they know how to pick you up themselves.
Exactly.
Could that be what you...
Exactly.
A little bit about that.
Yeah.
You know, in the business circle, you have all sorts of connections.
Yeah.
Those connections are not meant for you to ask for money from them.
Exactly.
Why don't you provide a solution in terms of coming up with a project that you think will benefit them?
Add value. They'll reward
value.
value. People will reward value.
Absolutely.
You know, like even today, you call the president, if you go begging, you probably won't entertain you. But if you go to him, he's a politician, say, oh, I'll give you numbers. I'll give you, solutions to, navigate maybe this energy crisis. He'll listen to you. Yeah. It's about adding value.
Yeah. And as a business person, you just spoke about, some of your network that is willing to fund some people that are actually coming up with solar solutions.
Yeah.
Right now, facing the energy crisis, and I know that a lot of upcoming businesses are facing that.
Yeah.
We cannot go further up and forget the ones that are actually down. We are looking at the welders. They're adding value to our constructions.
Exactly.
And all that, and they need electricity. Yeah. And anything that comes up as a solution, to what we are facing is actually fundable, especially now. Would you want to shed more light to those that are at the bottom and see how they can just think creatively and come up with something that is going to be able to be sustainable in terms of energy, as you allude to the funding that comes with the solar? Is there anything else other than the solar funding?
Look, the truth of the matter is that our colleagues at the bottom there are really facing it hard, because even big businesses, even medium businesses like ours are also feeling the pain.
Yeah.
So at the bottom there, it must be very rough. Sadly for them, if power comes at 0-1, unfortunately you have to wait up.
Yes.
Don't go home. Yes. Wait for the power at the market. When power comes, weld your thin, and then sell it tomorrow, the next day. I think that's a sacrifice they just have to make for now until situations get better.
That's a way. That's a sacrifice you have to make for now.
Yeah.
If there's any solution that actually can work for you, because such times is actually what brings
if
solutions.
You're a barber, move with your machine.
Yes.
Call your clients up.
Yeah.
Say, is there power now at your office? Okay,
can I come by and go there?
Exactly. So sadly, it's a time of sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to get out of your comfort zone and just go the extra mile.
Yeah.
By extra mile, that means sadly you may have to walk from here to Kablonga.
Yes.
And just cut your
to make the same money you should have made in your shop.
Just so you stay up.
That is absolutely amazing. And I think this is very insightful information for those that are actually, all of us are facing it hard in terms of energy, and we're having to find solutions. So everybody should be able to go an extra mile for now until things stabilize.
Until things start stabilizing.
So it is at such a moment also that a lot of innovations do come about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we have had a situation, Mr. Mwambazi, that people want to access the international market.
Yeah.
But they don't know how. Would you want to give a few tips with regards to how they can prepare themselves for the international market, regardless of what they are providing?
Okay, so the international market, I'll tell you, first and foremost, understand that now we're in the global village. And whichever business you can think of, they're trying to expand and tap into even the forgotten corners of this country.
Yes.
All right. So the idea is start focusing on partnerships, because you just don't get up today and say, I'm going to open an office in the UK.
Yes.
It's possible, but then it's going to take you a lot. It's easier if, first and foremost, you start fostering partnerships. Because remember, if you come up with a partner in the UK, number one, you're going to actually, go above a lot of things that, you're supposed to go to overcome before the business
before you actually establish yourself there.
Before you establish yourself. There's issues of cultural differences.
Yes.
So if I'm just going to go and say, look, I'm David Mwambazi, let me step in the UK and establish a business. Look, I need to start understanding their culture.
The dynamics, the market, you need to do a research.
Exactly. But if I partner with a colleague that side who's familiar with that market, business takes off almost immediately.
Wow.
Exactly. You
I
know,
love
we come from different backgrounds. I mean, here in Zambia, we've got a culture where you can be 30, 40 minutes late and nobody really screams at you.
Yes.
But in the UK, they may not tolerate
Oh
that.
my God.
You get it. So
yes.
you need somebody that side
Yes.
who understands how it works and, you know, that guide you through until you're able to actually blend into the culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And did you see,
So
Mr. Mwambazi?
yeah,
so partnerships are actually crucial when it comes to setting yourself up for international markets. Apart from partnerships, what else? You talked about cultural differences. Are we willing as SMEs that are actually dreaming to be able to set ourselves up in international markets, you know, to be able to learn some of the cultures? Because sometimes to take a Zambian mindset out of a Zambian has been a problem.
I know.
What do you want to say to that, Mr. Mwambazi?
Look, the bottom line is if, say, you want to settle into any or explore any market, you need to first and foremost do a bit of research on it. You know? Because to be honest, and this is conversations that we don't have, but I think we should occasionally we whisper it to ourselves. We don't want it to come out openly like this, but the truth of the matter is our people can be a bit laid back. You know, maybe that lack of a better term, a bit lazy sometimes. So, and then if you're going to establish a business in probably places like Japan, Japanese are known to be, you know, workhorses.
They are hard workers.
Extremely hard workers. So if you find that if you take the Zambian mentality of some of our people that side, observe the word some of our people, because some of our people are very hard working.
And
so you take
take
the lazy aspect of our people that side, you find that you just won't fit in. You'll be kicked out before you even get anywhere. You get it. So these are some of the things you have to study the market and understand, okay, look, the people I'm going to be working with or the environment that I'm exploring, this is how it operates. Do I have what it takes to operate this?
On
and as the members say, pima yourself, kui pima.
Can I fit in this
Yes, can I fit? And you say, me, I'm used to waking up at 10, and by 7, I must be in bed. And these guys wake up at 5. So you just gracefully withdraw and just say, okay, look, let me try another market.
But now with the global market, Nangua Ipima, you know, and I think we just need to learn to grow. We cannot afford to remain laid back because that's the most comfortable space. Because I think having you know, established offices in different places and different cultures, you have been able to see that whether you like it or not, there are times when you are not, you don't feel like waking up to go and attend to things, but because you put value on what you're doing, you find yourself actually adjusting to what these cultures demand of you to be. So what you tell them, because the laid-back mindset actually is what we're trying to kick out. We know our mindset when it comes to how we put importance to work, and especially when there's a few contracts back and forth, we feel we have already arrived. At the same time, we're dreaming to work with other cultures, yet we don't have the mindset to be able to grow out of our comfort zone.
So the truth of the matter is, look, first and foremost, you have to be honest with yourself and tell yourself, look, I have to be a student. I have to learn. If I'm going to operate in South Africa, how do the South Africans operate? And you adjust yourself accordingly. And then once you feel it's something that your mind is mentally ready now, that's when you advance the causes of establishing yourself in that particular area.
So what I sense from what you have just said, Mr. Mwambazi, is we have to go into a school of self-discipline.
Exactly.
And ensure that we get ourselves ready to a point where we can be entertainable by other cultures in terms of business. Okay, because not every mindset is meant for business. There's pressure in business.
I know.
There's a lot of pressure in business that is not put out there. What you see is an accomplished person standing in front of you and a few things that you can point. But the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of adjustments in trying to run, grow, and even expand your business. So the quicker you can grow out of your comfort zone, the better for you. Is that what you are saying?
Precisely.
Isn't it?
Precisely.
Because we can't continue saying, we need to grow. We've been growing, but how soon are we growing? Earlier on, you said it's a quickness that we are going to apply, to how we want to do our business. It's going to expand all of us. So we are supposed to think on that level, So what about our government institutions? How have you been able to interact with them, especially as ACU?
Sorry, come again?
The government institutions, how have you been able to interact with them on the market as ACU?
All right, look, when it comes to say, this is something that I've also heard the government or the president actually talk about,
Yes.
the current president. You see, there's a lot of bureaucracy in this country.
Yeah.
You
True.
know, one thing that's very frustrating is that, so talk about licensing.
Yes.
You know, you want to do things the right way, you want to follow the laid down rules. So you have to get a license for a certain product before you start offering it.
Yeah.
The same license will be applied here in Zambia. It will take you months, if not years.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Apply for the same
again.
license in another country. It will take you days, if not weeks.
Yes.
You know, because here there's all this bureaucracy. And
yes.
But also remember that, say for example, you're in Botswana and you've got a jack here in Zambia.
Yes.
They've applied for the same licenses. All right. After they get the licenses, they'll all turn to the same investors.
Yes.
In Europe, in America, and Dubai. Now, they're fighting for the same investors, and these guys don't really have a lot of time to waste. And they'll go with the guy who gets a license. So we're fighting for the same money, but our system, our own system. That's why there's a coin that I've heard, there's a saying that I've heard that's been coined, says Zambians sometimes are our worst enemies. I don't understand who makes these rules and what.
Yes.
I honestly believe some of, the regulation that we follow is something that was left by the British, if I'm not mistaken. So we're trying to follow. We're trying to run a 21st century economy using policies that were crafted in the 20th century.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we need to update. I know that the government has to do its due diligence. Government has to make sure they're giving the licenses to the right people.
Yeah.
But a faster way of doing it is possible.
Yes.
Because look, back then, probably certain policies were put in place because you have to send post office, letters, and then it will take some time.
Yeah,
and now you can verify information using an email,
absolutely,
a phone call.
Yeah.
So back then it was telegrams.
Yes.
So you find that it was justifiable for a period to be that long.
Yes, but not anymore. Not anymore.
I can verify any information I want just by going on a click of my computer, and all the data comes.
It's going to come.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we need to upgrade most of our institutions.
I love that. So this means that a lot of our government institutions need to upgrade in order for them to provide an enabling environment for SMEs to grow.
Exactly.
Because there's potential for growth, but also there are some businesses that actually, in fact, most of the businesses require that people are actually belonging to certain bodies. And actually people are getting the right accreditations for them to be able to function in Zambia and be able to function elsewhere. But the systems are actually taking too long.
There's just no justification for the delays that we cause on ourselves.
Wow.
Just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Committees are sitting. Come on. Committees are people you can tell can sit every 2 weeks if needs be.
Yes.
You don't have to sit once in 3 months. Come on, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
You see, we now belong to a global village. Other people are getting licenses, and you want our people to be subjected to that length. And I'm glad the president has spoken about it, and I just hope that
it can be
policy
followed.
Implementers will just take it very seriously.
And that is one of the things that we people in private sector actually cry for, because declarations are made by the top office, but the implementers at the bottom actually have been the biggest problem.
I know.
So this is to say that there's a goodwill for business out there, especially from the top. But when it comes to the people that are supposed to be able to implement these things, to bring it down to a point where businesses like yourselves can be able to grow, that's where we are facing a challenge. And that we are saying, and through Mr. Mwambazi is saying, that we should be able to change, the way we are running business. Information can be found, at the click of an eye, and just on your hand doing like this, and you're able to get all the information that you need. Due diligences can happen in a week. So can we say at the most something that should take 1 month can be reduced to 3 weeks or something, 2 weeks?
That's the direction this country needs to take.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Mwambazi, I would like to thank you for the conversations that we have had, and I know that there's a lot of insights that people have picked from this conversation. Any last word that you would want to, speak to the upcoming businesses and the ones that you think are going to be part of your partners going forward, especially for the ICRA and also for the funding that you're actually coming up with, the institution that's going to be dealing with direct funding? Maybe you can say a little bit about that as you wind up.
Okay, look, the only thing I'd like to say, appeal to the Zambian audience out there is, time for being self-entitled is long gone. Time for being, self-entitled is long gone. We as Zambians need to put ourselves together, and understand that everything's possible, but we need to reach out and believe in ourselves. No government is coming to save us. No uncle, no father, no son, no aunt is coming to save us. Your destiny truly lies in your hands. Absolutely. And, you sit on opportunities that, others out there would like to pray for and would like to partner with you. So open up to partnerships. What you don't have, seek it in another, then together, coin something that will benefit not only your lives, but the larger community at large. Those are my last remarks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwambazi. And there you have it, our viewers. This has been Mr. David Mwambazi, the CEO of ACU Zambia. Thank you so much. He represents a lot of companies, both local and internationally, and there's been so much that has been discussed. We hope that you're going to get a lot of insights and that you use this information positively to grow yourself and also grow this economy. This economy is dependent on you to be able to grow. Thank you so much. Until next time, my name is Clara, your host.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Clara.
you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mwambazi.
Thank you. Nice. You made it very easy.
Isn't it?
I didn't read any of those.
Is it? Nothing. And delivery, I didn't want